Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. And today we want to take a look at one of the posts which I did recently on my Instagram. And over there I posted one of my first perfect days in Legend League. And actually I'm super happy about that because, like I said, I did not have really any other perfect days except that. And I see a lot of other players posting like non-stop those perfect days. They are crazy. But for me, it's the first one. And the strategy which I used to achieve this was Zap Lalo. So what I thought is, well, I want to show a couple of more Zap Lalo attacks to you guys in Legend, especially facing a couple of the bases which are not that nice to attack. And in addition to that, I want to show you guys a couple of attacks on bases which, let's put it like this, do not have that much zap value. But we come to this a bit later because the first base, I think that's a pretty common base, right? And to be honest, it's not as easy as it looks like, especially all of the traps are in the center and all of those multi-inferno towers are really annoying to face. Even though this is the old version of this base, which makes it a bit easier to attack because you have pretty good zap value overall. But still, it's not an easy base at all to attack with Zap Lalo. I think is at least I saw many people struggle with this one with the double sweeper setup and everything around that. And I'm not going, or like, I'm not greeding for too much value on this one. The only thing which I'm kind of going for at this point is the sweeper behind the scatter shot, which I just used the lightnings for, and then obviously the Royal Champion as well, which is on the outside at the bottom side of this base, so I can take her down, and that's pretty much it. As long as I get even more value, that's totally fine, obviously, but this is not the main objective. The main objective were, first off, funnel, like pathing for my Lalo later, the sweeper, and then the enemy Royal Champion. Those were kind of the main objectives at this point. Now it's all about how do we get into the top side. And one thing which I didn't really notice is take a look at the positioning of the sweeper of the top side. I was thinking like both sweepers were kind of like pointing at each other, which wasn't really the case. So at this point, I'm kind of like, damn, I somehow messed up. This was not the best decision. But still, you have to somehow still get through this, even though if you might do not do the best decision overall. Now, really early warden ability just to get the headhunters into the enemy queen, and obviously get the blimp to the town hall, because that's normally the thing which you take, or like how you take those out. Now, I'm doing like not the best play. I'm using the haste to actually get my loons faster into the tunnel. Maybe it was the right choice. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. Either way, now it's all about the back end. And to be honest, there's not too much left. I had a couple of loons saved for the back end. I was really lucky that this bottom air defense was going down due to my heroes in the beginning. So the arch tower is kind of the last defense which can actually target my air. And it's going down. So this one is going to turn out as a triple in the end. It was quite close, not the best Lalo. But still, that's kind of the power of the strategy, that even if your Lalo is not the best, or like is not that great, considered like compared to like those really top players out there, you still have a chance at actually doing a perfect Legend Day. And that's what I did, like I said. So let's take a look at the next base, because that's another base. And now, once again, I want to highlight one more time how important it is to actually split up the lightnings, because on this base we do not have too much value overall for the lightnings, right? Because the lightning spells, like, it cannot hit too much over here. So what I have to figure out something. So I was thinking about, okay, let's split up the lightnings so I can get as much value as possible. So first off, I'm using a couple of lightnings to the sweeper and to the enemy, what was it, I think mortar or something, and then splitting it up onto the air defenses, and now the earthquake on everything. So we took down the entire core with splitting up our lightnings overall entirely. So that was pretty nice. And now I'm kind of greeting for this bottom scatter shot, because I want to somehow interrupt the ring. Because what we just did with those lightnings, we kind of turned this base into a ring base, because we took care of the entire core. And now we want to increase this dead zone with our heroes. That's kind of the next part of the plan, which is working half decent, I guess, something like that. Let's see how much we can get. The scatter shot bounce, or the Royal Champion bounce, is not that perfect. I would have liked to get the enemy Inferno Tower, and now we need to get creative, because We didn't really got what we wanted to get because I'm always doing this light version of the Sui with no ice golems whatsoever. And I'm kind of trying to target the multi-inferno tower because in my head I'm kind of trying to create somehow the pathing. With this being said, I want to have the Slammer go into the left to the sweeper and then later into the town hall. That's what I'm trying to do right now. So the first house already coming in and the Slammer's actually going where I want him to go. So far, so good. And now it's all about the town hall. Town hall's getting activated actually pretty early. And, well, now we just have to freeze it, making sure that nothing is dying over there, freezing the air defense as well. And now freezing the explosion of the town hall. I'm having one headhunter in as well in the warden ability, which is obviously great because this means the enemy queen is getting taken down, which is obviously a really key thing. And now the Slammer and the loons are getting into the back end. I'm using a ton of haste spells. Not the best usage overall over there, but still it should be enough because we have so many loons getting into the back end of this base, which is looking really good. And this back end Inferno Tower is not a multi-Inferno Tower. Now the haste to get everything into the eagle, get everything into the back end air defense to make sure that the damage is not too too insane over there. And once again, we have 2 Archer Towers, 1 Inferno Tower, and that's basically it. The haste spell is leading a couple of more loons into the back end, and this is looking good because we still have the dragon, we still have the warden, which can kind of help on the back end, but time is ticking low, really low actually. And so this is going to be a last second decision kind of on this one. The dragon is helping, is trying to help over there. The loons are taking down the Archer Tower really close, but they're taking it down. And well, the barracks are the last building of this base. And this means another triple. It was close once again, but I mean, I take those. Sometimes those attacks are close. That's how it works, right? Like, this is how it works when your lalo is not perfect. But still, let's take a look at the next base. And this is one of those bases which I normally freaking hate to attack because take a look at this base. There is no zap value around the clan castle whatsoever. We can use the lightning for 1 sweeper, and that's it. Like there's actually nearly 0 zap value, and that's pretty crazy. So we still try to get as much as we can. So first off, I mean, just the lightning is the only thing which I can basically hit at this point, because the cannon is like 4 tiles away, so that's not possible. So we have to do something. So what I'm doing now is I'm kind of trying to get into the scatter, into the queen compartment. Well, with this being said, is like, if I get there with my queen and everything, then it looks pretty good because we have access to the scatter and even to the multi-inferno tower, which is behind there. So let's see how good this works. Now, obviously the funnel in as well, the super wall breaker, which is always really key in those Sui attacks because you do not have to concentrate on like test wall breakers, things like that, which is obviously really nice. Now the king and everything is getting in. The royal champion is running outside of the range of the single inferno tower, which is great for me because now she's actually tanking for my queen. And this looks like we should actually get the multi-inferno tower and maybe even more in the end. So this is looking really good for me. At this point, multi-inferno tower is going down. And with all of this being said, now we can get started with the lalo. And considering that we did not get that much with our lightnings in the beginning, I think the Sui was pretty good overall. So what we created was first pathing, because now with this dead zone at the bottom side of the town hall, we have really good pathing overall. And in addition to that, we get really early into the eagle, and that looks not too bad. Now the tricky part about this one is kind of like, how do we get the enemy royal champion? Because in between of our lalo and the enemy royal champion, there is the king. As you guys know, that's really tricky to get the headhunters on top of the royal champion if there's the king in between. That's not that easy. So what we're doing over here, I'm kind of trying to get the blimp on top of the town hall, non-stop freezing the sweeper, the scatter, and the multi-inferno tower, which is a lot of value for freezes. And this gives me the possibility of somehow getting the town hall down. And now you can see I have so many haste spells left, and most of the time someone who's always using those hastes really late into the attack. And this is what I'm seeing, what you guys can see over here. And now we still have 7 loons in the back end, which I can still use. I use it for the back end outside defenses. And this should be actually a 3-star in the end, especially with all of the lava pups coming in from the bottom side. And that was a crazy one. I think this is one of the attacks which I'm most proud of, because for me, like, the lalo was pretty nice, I think, especially like I said, considering that we had basically 0 zap value overall. So I really hope you guys like this this video about, like, once again, it's zap lalo, but still, I hope you guys learn the strategy a little bit more as well, because I think it's a crazy strong strategy, especially if you're getting better with the lalo. It's a lot of fun as well, in my opinion. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I will see you guys back tomorrow, and well, guys, until then, see ya and bye bye.